Hi, and welcome to episode number 2 of the Gentle Business Revolution podcast, the show where we talk about marketing your business by disrupting the current marketing paradigm. I'm Sarah Sinek. I'm your host here, and you know that you're in the right place if you are a heart-centered entrepreneur who feels anxiety around marketing your business, or you are an entrepreneur who is tired of the traditional marketing model and are ready for a paradigm shift. Today's episode is all about our why. Ever since Simon Sinek published his book, Start with the Why, there's been a lot of buzz around this topic. Yes, I totally believe in the power of the why. When we know why we do what we do, we get up every morning motivated to go back to doing that. And if we share our why, we share our story, and that creates connection. And then finally, when we know our why, we feel happier, we feel in the flow, we feel in our zone of genius. But there's a downside to this, because with all this buzz, it can almost become a source of anxiety when we don't know our why. We feel like we are missing something that others have. So in this episode, I want to do two things. I want to share how I found my why, or maybe how it found me. And maybe you've already heard me tell this story before, as I have shared it in a previous episode of my previous podcast. And the second thing I want to do is give you permission to stop searching for your why and just be open to letting it come and find you. So in the passion module of the Anxiety-Free Marketing Program, we're talking a lot about meaning, purpose, and why we do what we do. And let's be honest for a minute, it's not the same for everyone. Some people are very clear about their why, their mission, and others, it takes them a bit more time. And I was part of the others. So for 10 years, my business was just a means to an end. I started it because I wanted a flexible solution so that I could also spend time with my boys, see them grow up. And then when I turned 40, about 3 years ago, I read Simon Sinek's book. And this question about the why started to come up more and more. That's also when I started my first podcast, the Introvert Biz Growth Show. And it definitely gave me meaning, but it was more of a hobby. I still considered my LinkedIn business as the breadwinner and the work I did with introverts more of a side hustle. I thought that maybe in my case, my why was probably outside of work hours. In parallel, I did a lot of inner work though, first with a therapist and then with a coach. And I dug up a lot of old stories. And then one day it hit me. I got this very clear message that I was supposed to reserve the domain name, thegentlebusinessrevolution.com. By the way, this page is now live and you can instant download the Gentle Business Manifesto on that page. So again, thegentlebusinessrevolution.com. But back to me and finding my why. So doing this inner work, a lot of the past led me to my dad, who is and was a very important person in my life. He's my dad, right? But not only in a healthy way. My dad is a very smart, discreet, and somewhat intimidating person. And for all of his life, he was a leader in the socialist movement. He was representing the workers, fighting for justice, and of course in a non-violent way. So entrepreneurs, business owners were somehow the enemy when growing up. I was part of the worker society, right? So when journaling about all of this, I realized two things. I realized, first of all, that what had kept my business from getting to the next level was this feeling of betraying my dad by allying myself with the other side, with the business owners. And the second thing I realized is that that's exactly my mission. My why is to bring more kindness and empathy to the business world and representing this number one value, which is social justice and community. Doing business in a way that is fair where all parties win, where we can make a difference. So that's how I found my why, or how it found me. It meant really doing the inner work as well. And again, if you had asked me, just 2 years ago, I wouldn't have had the same answer. So if you don't know your why yet, I'd say don't stress out about it. I know that Simon Sinek has a course about finding your why, but quite honestly, I don't know if you can just take a course about it. At least not if you're not also doing the inner work at the same time. This stuff is usually hidden deep inside us. But if you do want to brainstorm about it, there's a quick exercise that my friend Laurence shared with me. You can take a piece of paper and start writing down your what, your how, and your why. So what is what you do? How is how you do it? And why? Well, that's why you're doing it. So just write down everything that comes up for you under these different sections. So what, how, and why. And then take a moment to reflect on this. Again, if the why section is not very clear yet, don't stress out about it, but come back to it maybe another day. What matters is that you have planted the seed and are open to, seeing the message, getting the information, and maybe finding it within yourself. I referred to Simon Sinek's book in this episode, and I have put together actually a list of the books I used to research and create the Anxiety-Free Marketing Program. And you can grab that at sarahsenecroce.com/books. So this is it for this episode of the Gentle Business Revolution. I really hope you'll join me on this journey to a kinder marketing paradigm. And please invite your friends to join us if you think they'd come along and join us gentle visionaries. And next week, I'm inviting Georgiana Cowell to talk to us about integrity. I'm super excited to have her share this deep dive into this very important topic when it comes to conscious entrepreneurship. So I can't wait to see you again next week. Take care.